Okay, we're going to make my macaroni and cheese. Might be a nice simple one, but if you make your own cheese sauce, it is so tasty and great to portion up, pop in the freezer for a later date. So hopefully you've just got your pan on, just starting to heat up, and we can add in the butter. So add the butter straight in, and as that's melting, we can put the macaroni on to boil. There we go. And just give the macaroni a stir, just so it doesn't stick. And we're making a really nice large amount of this. It's going to be fantastic. There we go. Whenever you put pasta into boiling water, the point that the pasta goes into the water is when the starch gets released, and that's when you want to stir it, because that's when it might stick together. So you don't need to bother with olive oil or anything like that. Okay, so the butter's just melting away, and what we're going to do here is we're going to make a white sauce and then add in the cheese to that. So just roll your butter around the pan just to help it melt quicker and stop it from burning, because you don't want it to go all brown and bubbly. And then we're going to add in the flour next. Once the butter's melted, we're going to add in the flour, and then the basis of the sauce, it'll appear before you know it. Almost there. Hopefully you're the same. Just going to give the pasta another little stir. Go. Just got a pan big enough for it all. Okay. Just moving it around, so if any's catching together, you'll just release it. Go. And in the time it takes for the macaroni to cook, we'll have made the cheese sauce. Go. Okay, so we can add in the flour now. So it's just 4 tablespoons of plain flour, and don't worry about levelling off the tablespoon measure. Just 4 sort of normal tablespoons. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to stir this in. So if you've got gas, just flip the heat off quickly. If you're using electric like me, then just lift it up off the hob. So we'll just do this off the heat, just to get it stirred in. There we go. And it should be looking something like this, a nice paste. So what we need to do now is just pop it back on the heat just for about a minute. And this will just cook out the flour, so it won't have a raw flour taste. So we can turn the heat right up now, so nice and high. And just keep stirring it, nothing much will be happening. And then we're going to add the milk in next. So it should be nicely bubbling away, so just keep stirring it. And it means that your sauce will be really nice and won't taste of flour, which wouldn't be very good. It's still exactly the same as it was. And I'm just going to turn my pastas down slightly now, because it's just it's starting to boil nice and rapidly. So I'm just going to turn it down to medium. Okay, and we can start adding the milk into our what will be our cheese sauce. And what you'll find is it's nice and runny at this stage. As soon as we add the milk, we're going to stir, and then it'll all get absorbed and go into a big ball. So you just want a splash of milk to start off with, just like that. and then nicely stir it all in. And see instantly how the flour just absorbs up all the milk. See? So to here. A lot thicker already. And it'll get thicker still with the next batch of milk which we'll pop in. So again, just another nice splash of milk. And then stir, stir, stir. There we go. So what it'll look like is a big ball of mush now. Hard to believe that this will be your really nice, tasty, velvety, silky smooth cheese sauce. So another splash of milk and then stir it again. So each time we add the milk in and then stir it until the milk's completely absorbed. And it'll take a few goes before it stops being a lump, and then it'll eventually get a little bit thinner and a little bit thinner and a little bit thinner until you've got it to the beautiful sauce-like consistency that you're looking for. See, so we're back to the big ball of cheese sauce without any cheese in it yet. More milk. And each time you add the milk, you can add a little bit more. Oh, try not to make a mess like me. There we go. Just stir, stir, stir. And it's hard to think, but I'll come and show you this. When you're stirring it and it looks like this, you'll never think that you'll be able to get it nice and smooth. So if you just keep stirring, it'll all come together. Have faith in your cooking ability. There we go. So back into a ball, but it's a little bit thinner now. So we can add a little bit more milk in. And I'm going to try not to make as much of a mess this time. So just stir, stir, stir. Go. And if you find, like me, it's just sticking to your spoon, to your wooden spoon, just get another spoon or a knife and just clean it off like that, and then get stirring the whole thing again. Oh. There we go. Nice and quickly. It's not difficult to do though. And see, your sauce should be looking like this, nice and shiny and just starting to resemble a sauce. But we're not quite there yet, so add more milk in. And the consistency that we're looking to get is a little bit runnier, because remember we've got to add in a lot of cheese, so that'll thicken it up as well. And it should absorb in a lot easier now. And I'm just going to scrape my spoon again. And then add in some more milk. And stir, stir, stir. So each time you add in the milk, it goes all gloopy and it doesn't look very nice at all. But that's for the point that if you just keep stirring, it will all come together. Okay. And we can add in the last of the milk now. And then stir. Then we can turn the heat off. There we go. So the consistency should be like this. It should easily pour off your spoon. Okay, so I can turn the heat off and I'm going to bring this over so that you can see the next bit. You don't need, it'll be plenty hot enough to do the next bit. So all you need is your grated cheese, your English mustard, and some salt. And I'm just going to get a bit of kitchen roll to wipe my hob. There we go. Right, so hopefully your sauce is looking something like this. Nice and lump free. And you just want to add in pretty much all of your cheese, but you just want to reserve just a little bit. If you see how much I've got left to sprinkle on the top. Okay, and then just stir that in. Couldn't be easier. There we go. And it's an amazing thing about adding English mustard, and English mustard is so much better than Dijon mustard or French mustard, which tend to be a little bit vinegary. And it just brings out the flavour of the cheese absolutely fantastically. So we can add that in now, and that's just a teaspoon of English mustard. And it might seem like it's a lot because this is the hot stuff, but really don't worry about it, because it's not like you're having it with your roast beef or anything like that. It'll just bring out the flavour of the sauce, and it'll make it look nice and yellow like a cheese sauce. There we go. And see, the heat of the sauce has melted all the cheese, and it's just time for a little pinch of salt. And give that a stir. And you can go and drain your macaroni now. And you can turn the hob off everything. And then pop your macaroni back into the pan once you've drained it. Okay, and we can bring that over as well, along with your, what we call that, pie dish, macaroni dish for today. And now we just need to pop the sauce into the macaroni. It would be better to do it the other way round, but even I, with my limited education, can know that all of that won't fit in all of there. So just add the sauce in, and then we'll give it a good mix together. Go. And it'll all thicken up really, really nicely in the oven. And if you're like me and you're struggling with space in the pan, just take your time just to mix it together. There we go. And then lastly, once you've got it all mixed up, make sure you're getting right to the bottom. We just need to add another little pinch of salt, and then a good little couple of twists of pepper. So another pinch of salt, and then plenty of pepper. Remember, we're making lots as well. Okay, and then just give that a little stir in, and then it's time to empty it into your oven dish, pop it in the oven, and you'll be having macaroni and cheese for the next month in no time. So bring in the oven dish, And then straight in, not all over the worktop, please. Okay. Just flatten it down. Will fit. I've done this before. There we go. So just flatten it down because this will help get it nice and compact. Get rid of this plate. Right, and then lastly we just need to sprinkle with some the remaining grated cheese just on the top. So just nicely on the top. And everything's cooked, so theoretically you could eat it straight away now, but by putting it in the oven for about 20 minutes, all that'll do is it'll just firm everything up together and make the top really nice and golden. So go and pop this in the oven for 20 minutes until it's really nice and golden on the top, and I hope you enjoy it.